Welcome to section 2.5, best fitting lines. Your objectives, or what you're going to learn in this section, is how to write an equation of a line or a linear function given a set of data, and you're going to be able to identify the correlation between the variables. Here's your essential question you need to be thinking about while we're doing this section. Homework assignment. Questions 1 through 5 in the homework packet. And your vocabulary. The scatter plot is a graph of a set of ordered pairs used to determine if there is a relationship between the variables. As you can see, a positive correlation are the relationships that go from left to right going up. A negative correlation is when the relationships are going in a downward direction. And no correlation or no linear correlation at all is when, you may have an upside down parabola or there is no linear function. So those are the three types of correlations. You have a positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation. The best fitting line, you may also have heard it called line of best fit, is a line that represents the data by following the pattern of ordered pairs graphed in the scatter plot. The best fitting line will have a positive slope if the data shows a positive correlation, and a negative slope if the data shows a negative correlation. So for the first example, we're going to draw a scatter plot from the table of values. We're going to determine what type of correlation it has and draw the best fitting line. All right, so we have tadpoles age versus tail length. The age is represented in days and the tail's represented in millimeters, the length of the tail. So step one is you're going to graph the ordered pairs in the table using the days as the independent variable. And the tail length as the dependent variable, the vertical axis. Okay, so you're going to plot those points from the table, and as you can see, this data has a negative correlation. It's going down from left to right, has a negative correlation. Step two is you're going to sketch the best fitting line, or line of best fit. You're going to try to draw the line so there are as many points above and below the line as there are above the line. Again, you're going to draw as many points as above the line as there are below the line. And it's okay if your line does go through points from the given data. All right, example one. We're going to draw a scatter plot for the women's Olympic 100 meter times below. Draw the line that closely fits the data, and then you're going to determine any correlation. So the first thing that we need to do is graph the data. So I'm going to have time on the left, the vertical axis. And I'm going to have years for the horizontal axis. Now, but you have to look at the data and see the years starts at 48. So you have to kind of play along with it. You're just trying to get an idea of years, meaning you're going to start at 40 and you need to go out enough so that it covers all the data. So because the year started at 48 and went out to 96, I started with 40, went to 100, and it seemed to work out nice. On the time, I started at 10.0 at the bottom, or I started at 10.5, excuse me. Then I went, so this is right here, 10.5, so I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I went to 11.0 here, then counted 5 more segments. 11.5. I went to 12.0. All right, you don't need the dots there. I was just putting there to show you which line it was affecting. Okay, so now we're going to plot our points. We have 48 and 11.9. So we're going to go 48 years on the horizontal axis, going up to 11.9 on the vertical. There's the first point, 48, 11.9. 56 and 11.5. So it's about right in the middle between 50 and 60. We're going to go up to 11.5. Put another dot there. It's 11.5. 64 and 11.4. So right about there. 72 and 11.1. 80 and 11.1. 88 and 10.5. So 88 and 10.5 is right here on the line. And then we have 96 and 10.9. Okay, so we have drawn the scatter plot for the women's Olympic 100-meter times below. Now, in this case, we have a negative correlation. Times are starting in the upper left-hand corner and going down to the right. The last step is we have to draw the line of best fit. And so to do that, we need to draw a line that has points above and below it in even amounts. And it's okay if we do go through a point. Okay, so there's our line of best fit. We have 3 points above and 3 points below. So we answered all the questions. Again, we drew the scatter plot. We determined that it had a negative correlation, and we also drew the line of best fit. If you have any other questions, talk to your instructor.